Hello, guys. I made it to my own live. Can you imagine that? Hi, Pikachu. Thank you for being here. Oh my god, drop it. Hang on, let me drop it. Um, I don't know what I did with to my computer today, but I messed it up somehow. I gotta figure it out. I've been under a lot of stress lately. Okay, so what do I do? Oh, shoot, I can't do that. Okay, I made the mistake of doing the wrong thing. Hi, Barb. Goofy me, I'm okay, there it is. Okay, Pikachu, I can't, I'm trying. This is crazy. I hate technology. I hate doing this stuff like this. Okay, let's see. Now, let's go here and go here. You have to go around so much stuff. Oh no. Why is it letting me post those things? Okay, come on now. It's weird. Okay. Well, why isn't it showing up? Alright. Stop doing it. I don't understand what's going on. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Oh, can everybody hear me okay? Not sure. Oh, you emailed me? Oh, I'm sorry. I gave you my phone number. You could text me. And that way I would get it better. My emails are like backed up to the moon. Um, there you go, back to you. And I'm sure, our roaring ginger will waltz in here late as always. No, I'm teasing. I love ginger. Okay, there we go. See, Pikachu knows how to get up here fast. My phone. See, I need to get another phone.
Hey.
Okay, there you are. Did I do
Hi.
it right?
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm up
I got
here.
it. Okay, cool. It's like I was listening to Foul Play some tonight, and they are. Oh my god, they are at the parts that
Excuse me.
I have been waiting to hear
Yeah.
about reading the parts of Brandon's what he said word for word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, it just was blowing me out of the water. But
Yeah. They always have really interesting lives.
oh yeah, I'm just like um in this. I mean, these two cases baffle me because this should be in some comic book. This should not be real life.
Yeah. No, you're
And
right. Everything that's happened in this case is very like unbelievable.
I wouldn't believed it if I hadn't have lived what I lived through and
Yeah.
my son lived. I mean, if I hadn't have witnessed it firsthand, I would have never believed you in a million years. You come to me and told me something like that.
Yeah.
Never. And a lot of times it doesn't. You don't care about something until it drops in your lap. You know. So
Yeah.
people need to have more empathy for others and care about each other more. But
Sorry, I keep yawning now. I like keep up
good
here.
for her. I can't believe you're gonna be yawning.
Yeah.
You're young. Sleep is still important to you.
Well, I've been running around all day too, and then I only
Yeah.
had one day off this week, so
Yeah, see, that's a lot of it. When you have a full time job and you're so busy, I mean, time just gets away from you so fast.
yeah, it
And
does.
then when you go to not having no kids at home and not, being at home, no job, oh my God, it goes tick, tick, tick. Oh,
Well, I don't
it's,
have kids, but I would imagine I would be even more busier.
Oh yeah, yeah. But you do get caught up even when you're single, like um, because you would have to give up some things to even fit kids in there. So you're
Right.
already like busy to the bring them.
That is true.
So
Yeah. Like I am a
yeah,
very busy person. Oh
and
boy. Okay.
when you're
Wake
young,
up.
you try to. I think you try to pack as much as you can into um every day. Try to
Right.
get as much done as you can.
Well,
And
I was sick. I had like a stomach virus on Monday and Tuesday, so I was down and
oh
out. And then I worked Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And then today I had a day off, and then I'm going back to work tomorrow. So I had to
yeah,
do everything I normally do through because I have like Fridays and Saturdays off. So normally I would try to space everything out on Friday and Saturday, but I had to do everything I needed to do today.
yeah, that makes it kind of hard.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I did it. And
Yeah,
now I'm here. I emailed you because I wasn't sure if you were going to go live.
I'm just so happy that you. I was told to interrupt. So I just crossed my fingers because I could not. I mean, well, I got them uh, to start downloading, and then something. I don't know what happened. I
Oh,
plugged the charger in to it, and it when I went to hit, it went off, and then I figured that the battery was out because it was fixing to go out. So I plugged the charger into it, and then when I hit the on button, it just kind of went. The screen exploded, like had a little explosion in front on the screen,
oh shit.
and then it went black, and then that was it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know what I did.
oh my god. Yeah, hopefully it's
Yeah,
okay.
I have no
Well,
clue what I
I
did.
can share my screen again.
Okay. Yeah. It's my laptop because I mean I don't because I've been using a laptop forever.
Yeah.
And the oh my god, Chromebook? I just love the Chromebook. Oh my
I
god,
had
you can
one
do
of those.
anything with
Yeah,
it.
I used to have one of those. It was a really good little. I had a really
Mhm.
little like Chrome notebook, but I even played back. This was like years ago. I even played World of Warcraft on it, and it handled
Oh
that pretty good.
really?
Yeah. So
My husband,
I
he used to play that with my son. My son, when he moved out, they stay connected because they played that game online together.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I loved my little Chromebook, and yeah, I that was so long ago, and I think it kind of did the same thing. I think one day it just kind of short fused, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I was trying to think what I had. I had one that I do not like Windows. Windows just does not work for me. It's just too slow. I just can't.
yeah,
I can't handle Windows at all. I have a little computer that has Windows on it, and I gotta have a couple of tablets. But I just like the Android thing.
yeah,
The iPhone. I heard so much about the iPhones too, like with the TikTok thing lately.
yeah. I don't know about TikTok lately. Yeah,
Well, let's see. That said that if you have the iPhones that have TikTok installed on them, that you can get thousands for them.
oh really? Yeah,
Yes.
because I actually took TikTok off my phone when
Yeah.
when it was shutting when I thought it was shutting down. Mostly, I had a TikTok, but I didn't really do anything. Like I used to be really active on it, and then I just got bored with it, and then I
Yeah.
stopped, and then I hadn't been on it in a long time, and then the shutdown thing. So then I was just like, who cares? So I
Yeah.
deleted it. But recently it was because I think it's back. Like you can still go
Yeah.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
But recently I went to go see if I can download CapCut or something. That's a CapCut.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a part of TikTok, and even that's been like you can't download TikTok or that anymore.
Well,
So I don't know.
I checked today and I still had TikTok on my phone, so I don't know. Hi,
Yeah, like I
Mark.
think if you still have it, you can still use it,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're allowing people to download it anymore.
Oh no.
But I don't know. Like it's cool, but yeah.
I tell you. Well, I tell you, there's going to be a lot of those little beggars that will lose out on a lot of money.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, Lord.
a lot of small businesses were on there too.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. And there was a lot of people that didn't make it. I mean, that was a part of who they were and how they made money.
Yeah. So
But
it's
then,
too
I mean,
bad, but
it's so funny. TikTok. I noticed that they would allow some of the most vile, disgusting things on there, but then they would shut you down for saying the wrong word.
right. Well,
I'm just like, what?
yeah. It's just like any other social media platform, Some people can
Right.
get away with it and some people can't.
It's not. Yeah, then people saying she'll go to YouTube and they won't put up with that. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, like I've seen a lot on
Uh,
here that I'm like, really?
right. I know.
It's
It's like
whatever.
it seems like that uh the more dishonest you are and the more willing to just do whatever, uh you're the one that comes out shining like like a silver nickel,
I
you
guess
know.
so. Yeah. But
I mean, it just seems like to me because I guess that they're more busy about it, I guess, and more loud. Then
yeah.
there's lots of us that I just don't have that energy for it anymore. I
Oh.
remember getting riled up and stuff, but
Oh,
I
on
just
drama
don't.
and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I don't have and I don't agree with anything that's been going on lately on from any side of the thing. So
Right.
I just kind of
Right.
like stepped out of it.
Right. Sometimes sometimes it gets so emotionally charged that if you don't want to get struck by that,
Right.
you just don't. And
Yeah, life is hard as it is, and
right,
there's other things going on that I'd rather pay attention
right,
to. So
yeah, I know. That's what I said. I was like, I have just been so stressed out because, like, we're in the process of selling a vehicle. Then our truck went down, and then
oh shoot,
and yeah, and then I bought a car, and I had to. I bought it for a good price, but I had to replace a few things on it.
yeah.
And oh my goodness, it just kind of dug into my wallet a little bit deep.
Yeah,
And
no,
I'm like,
I feel you on car stuff. I actually
oh
have to
my
get some stuff
gosh,
done but I have to save the money for it. So
yeah. And when you I don't know, I just wasn't expecting it to be like this. And I told my husband, I said I would get out there and clean it up, but I'm just really, really angry at it because it cost
yeah,
me so much money.
well,
But
yeah,
but he got his truck running, so everything's cool. And
that's good.
it, oh my goodness, it just seems like that it's never ending. I mean, once you get one problem fixed, you run into something else and something else.
Right?
It's just the way life is, I guess.
I guess so. I fucking hate it, but whatever.
I thought when you get older, it would get better, but
I thought there'd be a point, yeah, where kind of everything, but
yeah.
nope. I
When
guess
you get to
not.
like Mark gets to kick back and play golf and do all the good stuff.
Right?
Yeah, he does. Okay. So, do you have uh the interrogation, the ones that we
Yeah,
want to play?
I
Okay.
have it ready to go. You just have to click share screen or whatever you do.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready when you are. If everybody else is ready.
Yeah.
Okay. I know, right, Barb? I'll let them shine on. I'll just be the one that doesn't. Okay. Let's see. What happened? Okay. I'm waiting on you.
No, you have to click share.
I did. I. Okay. Is that it?
You have to go
Oh, I got it.
to I think like kind of like you're
Oh,
adding somebody to the panel. There you go.
okay. Got it. Okay.
I
Got it.
think Ginger's
Okay.
gonna come up here too. We can wait until Ginger gets up here.
Okay. Is she here?
Yeah, she's in chat. She says sorry.
Well, well, well. Oh, wait. Oh, I was supposed to probably send that to her and I forgot.
Well, while we're waiting to see if Ginger comes up, I'll just give context from last time we left off.
Okay.
This was February 27th, and Brendan was at the school when Mark Wiegert and Tom Fassbender showed up and interviewed Brendan. And it was just the audio, and I only had 40 minutes, but I'm actually going to see if I have if Foul Play has a longer, because I felt like it was cut short and that there should be more to it. So, but when I have some free time, I'm going to see if I can find if Foul Play has more of it or if it's out there somewhere. But so basically, what happened is that they brought Brendan back to the police station, and I think this is Two Rivers police station. So you can see Brendan in there, and he's sitting in the interrogation room. And
now, at this point, is he arrested or not?
no, he's not arrested. He is being questioned. There's actually certain. So technically, you can't call something an interrogation unless it meets certain criteria. I didn't know if you guys knew that. But like when a cop comes up to you like on the street and he asks you questions, that's technically not considered an interrogation. That's just asking questions. If a cop brings you into a room like this is considered an interrogation. And then they should read you your Miranda rights. So I can't remember if this was if they read him his Miranda rights in this interview. But I don't think they've come in yet to actually start talking to him yet. So they might read him his Miranda rights. But if they don't read him his Miranda rights, then technically then this is not considered an interrogation. And it does matter. The difference does matter. So
Right. A lot of, yeah. I can't believe, like, that they have so many guidelines that everything could fall under.
yeah.
And you just never know what yours is going to fall under.
A good book. If you guys, I found it on Amazon, and it's not really like a common book, but a good book that people can read that I've actually read on Brendan Talks channel. It's The Interrogation and Conviction of Brendan Dassey by Michael Chinchilli, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically goes through all the interrogations and breaks them down. And he's like a defense lawyer for the state of Wisconsin. So he knows the law pretty well out there. And he feels Brendan is innocent. So he's looking at it from that perspective of basically how Brendan was screwed over during these things. But yeah, he talks a lot about how certain times when the police are talking to Brendan, it's technically not considered an interrogation. Right. So that's when you see things that are kind of more or less being fed to him.
Right.
Yeah. Hi, Ginger.
Hey,
hi, Ginger. Did you hear what I said? I said our gingers will come waltzing in here late as always.
I don't waltz. I sashay.
Sashay in.
That's right.
I think she's more like a tornado.
It's a redhead thing, right?
Right?
Yeah,
it has to be.
Where I get that from. She's the one that's inspiring.
Yeah. I'm a redhead too, so I get it. All right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
All right.
Y'all go ahead and we'll be quiet.
Yep. And this is 41 minutes, so.
Okay.
All right, Brendan. One thing I'm going to ask you to do is when you start talking, you have to speak up, okay? Kind of like I am. Otherwise, the thing won't pick up real well. But before we ask any questions, Brendan, I have to read your rights. It's just what we have to do. Okay? Before you ask any questions, you must understand your rights. You
I don't know why they muted this part, but he just as he said, I'm gonna so you understand your rights. So he is reading him his Miranda rights. So this is now officially considered an interrogation.
Okay.
So that's that in the state of Wisconsin, at least.
Oh man, this poor kid.
Yeah. So he probably doesn't and you know, does Brendan understand? Does anybody understand what their Miranda rights are anyway?
Right.
You know,
And
and
I
in a
was
way,
going
here, let me actually get the book real quick because there's actually something in it that the guy says in the state of Wisconsin, you don't have to read the Miranda rights by how they are. Like, you know how you have the right to remain silent. You have a like
right.
there's an actual thing that you have to recite in some states.
It's
And
the end of it. The very end is what you have to recite.
yeah,
Right?
in the state of Wisconsin, well, you have to recite the whole thing. In the state of Wisconsin, you can paraphrase it.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it word for word or whatever. So
Right.
let me
Yeah.
see if I can find, because like I said, this book is called The Anatomy of a False Confession, The Interrogation and Conviction of Brendan Dassey, and it's an amazing book. Like, this is like the Bible of
I want to
um,
ask you a question. I know that you're close to, the plate, very close to the case. Well, is Brandon allowed to talk about his case yet? I mean, like,
not not really.
talk about, no.
Not over the
See
phone.
that? See, we weren't allowed the whole time that my son was in there. We weren't allowed to speak about the case at all.
Right. He
You
can't
know.
really, I mean, he can talk about it, but his lawyers advise against it. The communications that I have with Brendan are all recorded and documented through
Yeah.
phone calls and letters and
Yeah.
emails. And all of that is being recorded by the state of and watched by the state of Wisconsin.
Because it would just be really interesting to, like, have him, I mean, like, tell us what was going on in his mind frame at that time. What was he feeling? Like, was he scared? What was they
I
doing?
know he has said that
Oh,
he's felt more scared and concerned, but they made it feel like to him like he was helping.
yeah.
Like,
And
this is
like it,
what we need you to say and do to help us
no,
find Teresa.
and like and at what point did he realize that I mean that he was in trouble? At what point did he find?
I think on
Did
March 1st when he was arrested, honestly, when
yeah.
they said, you're not going back to school, right? Because he asked immediately after that interrogation, he said, am I going to be back in time for my fourth period? I have
Right.
a project to turn in. And they said, you're not going back, right? You're being arrested. And I think that's when it finally occurred to him that, oh shit. Like, and he didn't really quite comprehend it, I think, until his mom sat in the room with him after that point and was crying next to him. And I think that's when he realized, like,
I just it's just so wrong on just so many levels.
yeah, no,
I mean,
it's criminal.
and for everybody to sit back around them and watch this take place year after year after year, nothing being done. Them not people not stepping up to the plate when the ones in authority that can do something, and not stepping forward and doing something. This is unheard of. This is
Yeah,
unbelievable that we would have this in our human race, that we would treat other people like this. I mean, it's clear, that this
yeah.
was all. I mean, it's just horrible. I just
I'm trying to see because there's like an actual. Here it is. On February 27th, before the interrogation at the Two Rivers Police Department, Wiegert awkwardly delivered a Miranda warning that read, in part, as follows, which is what they just muted. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and have him with you during questioning. You have this right to the advice and presence of a lawyer, even though you cannot afford to hire one. We have no way of getting you a lawyer, but you will be appointed for you. But one will be appointed for you if you wish, and if you will, and if when you go to court. That's what they said to him.
Yeah.
And you don't, like I said, that's legal in the state of Wisconsin, to paraphrase the Miranda, like.
Right.
But they basically were telling him, you can have a lawyer here, even though we have no way of getting you a lawyer here.
Right.
And he's 16 years old. Does he understand,
No, he doesn't get what's going on.
All he's told is that, well, you can have a lawyer here, but we have no way of getting you a lawyer here. But one will be with you in front of court. And he hasn't even mentally understood that he could go to court.
Right. He don't even get that part.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
that's tricky. That's very tricky.
Yeah, you have the right to talk to a lawyer.
You have a right to a lawyer, but we're not going to provide one.
Right.
Yeah. We have no way of getting you a lawyer.
Yeah. Well, that's still like
way of
to anybody that would mean you have a right to a lawyer, but you know what? We're going to make sure you don't get one.
Yeah. But we can't get you one, but you have a right to one.
Wow. Yeah, you have a right to one. And right there, anybody else, reads between the lines, they've been like, well, I'm done talking then.
Yeah.
Well, most people that go through the court system, the majority is poor and uneducated, and so they let a lot of things pass through the justice. Let the justice system get by with a lot of things that they shouldn't get by with, and after they keep letting so much get by with it, it just grows bigger and bigger, until it bleeds out into all over the place. That's exactly what's happening.
That's where corruption bleeds in.
Right, and people used to become lawyers because they cared about people. They cared about the justice system, but that's not the way it is anymore.
In this chapter, by the way, of this book that I have, chapter 8 is Overcoming the Miranda, which is how they were able to. They didn't read Brendan his Miranda rights at the high school. So all of that stuff that you heard him say at the high school, he wasn't even read his Miranda rights. So technically, they couldn't call that an interrogation. They just called that an interview. And then I think that's when he said some of those things, they were like, oh shit, we got to bring him to the station so we can formally call this an interrogation. Because then they can use that in court.
Right.
They didn't use this in court, though. They only used the March 1st one. And Brendan can only understand like a certain amount of words in a minute, sort of thing, because of his intellectual disability. He can't understand
his processor, how it processes.
He can't understand more than 270 words a minute.
Right.
And Wiegert spoke more than that.
Yeah.
Which and that has to do a lot with his intellectual disability and like how he processes things. So like when you have like someone like a good example is because Brendan reads at like, or his intellectual disability was what, at like an 8th grade or 8-year-old level, right? I think that's what they were saying. So when you have like a kid and you're telling them like, okay, first I want you to go over to the corner and get your shoes. And then I want you to put your shoes on, first the left one, then the right one. Then I want you to go get your jacket. And then I want you to stand by the door and wait for me. Brendan would only get, I want you to go over to the corner and get your shoes. You know what I mean? That's where his processing would stop. And then the rest you would have to explain after he understood the first part. Right? But when you have an interrogation, when someone's like, well, what were you doing? What were you saying? And he's still processing the first question. by the time you're by the 5th or 6th question in these interrogations.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so if they're like, well, what were you eating that day, Brendan? How were you feeling that day, Brendan? What were you wearing? What was Teresa wearing? What do you think Teresa was feeling? He's still stuck on, well, how are you doing, Brendan? Or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and people will do that too. Rapid, they'll do rapid fire to try to trip you up.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. Because they want you to say the wrong thing or whatever. So they knew what they were doing with this kid.
Right.
It's,
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Anyway.
they saw him coming.
Before I get on another long tangent, I'll press play.
Okay.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and have him with you during questioning. You have this right to the advice and presence of a lawyer, even though you cannot afford to hire one. We have no way of giving you a lawyer, but one will be appointed for you if you wish, and when you go to court. If you wish to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have questions at any time until you talk to a lawyer. I have read the above statement of my rights. I understand what my rights are. I am willing to answer questions and to make statements. I do not want a lawyer. I understand it and know what I am doing. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure of any kind has been used against me. Do you agree with that? Yeah. You have to speak up a little bit. Yeah. Yes? Yeah. And if you agree with making a statement, why don't you put your initials here and put your initials here? These are the two things I read to you. Okay. And I'm just going to put the place up here. Two Rivers Police Department.
Now, Two Rivers, is that
Is approximately
like the closest to where his school is or whatever?
Two Rivers is a town inside of Manitowoc County. Two
Okay.
Rivers is where his dad lives, and I think technically the Avery Salvage Yard is outside of Two Rivers, but it's in Manitowoc County, but so it's within the county and it's close by. It's just one of the departments that was close by, I think, to school. He went to Mishicot High School, which is right next to Two Rivers, which is also in Manitowoc County.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mishicot. It's all very small towns in this area. Very small towns and areas and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Hmm.
1 p.m. Okay. Right over there for now. Brandon, just a few things. Okay, we're going to talk about what she had initially told us earlier. Okay. Um,
10, 19 of 8, 9,
how old are you?
16,
Okay. What's your address, Brandon?
12, 9, 38 Avery Road,
What city?
Wisconsin.
Okay.
The truth is something that is like something that's true, like something that really happened.
Okay. You have to speak up again, okay? And what's a lie?
It's something that's false.
Okay. So if I said that I was wearing a red shirt, would that be truth or a lie?
A lie.
True. Do you agree to tell us the truth today?
Yeah.
And if we ask you something you don't know the answer to, just tell us you don't know.
Yeah.
Who do you all live with, Brent?
My mom and my few brothers,
Your mom and your three brothers? What are your three brothers' names?
Wayne, Bobby, and Brian. Avery,
Okay. And how is he related to you?
my sister's brother,
So that makes him what to you?
my uncle.
Well, what we want to talk to you about, Brendan, like we had talked about before, is October 31st of 2005. Okay. Do you remember that day?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about that day when you came.
I got off the bus at 3:45, and I seen a Jeep down by our house, and I went into my house, and I played PlayStation 2 for 3 hours. I ate at 8 o'clock, and I got a phone call from Steven.
Beckett, can you turn that volume up just a little bit?
Yeah, and then he told me to bring the
No, this is as far up as it
Is
goes.
that as far up as it goes?
Yeah.
He drove me around to find some stuff. And we got the fancy
I need to get me a
and
speaker.
some wood. He drove me around to find some stuff. And we got the fancy and some wood. And the seat off, and later on I seen her forehead and her belly.
I was just going to stop you there. You said when you got home you saw her Jeep. Whose Jeep was that, do you think?
Hers.
Who's her?
Teresa Hallbach.
Do you remember what it looked like?
Green. And
That night after you got a call from Steven, you said?
yeah,
What time was that?
at 9:30.
9:30 at night?
Yeah.
And what date was that on?
October 31st.
And was there a fire going already at that time?
Yeah.
And who was at the fire at that time?
Steven.
Anybody else?
No. Like some wood and some like a broken cabinet.
And how did you pick those up?
We picked them up with our hands and put them into a cart
Okay, and then where did you take them?
over by the fire, and we set it on the ground.
Okay, you said before you saw something in the fire. What did you see?
Her foot, her toes.
Describe where you saw them
Like on the side of the fire,
and where, was it under something?
under some tires and some branches.
Okay. Had Steven brought something out to tend the fire with at all?
Some gas.
Did he use gases to make it go?
Like a shovel and a rake.
Okay.
Did you see anything else in the fire besides toes?
A hand and forehead and her belly.
Did it look like she was in one piece, or did it look like she was chopped up, or what did it look like?
In one piece.
When you
It looked like some fat or something.
how did you know it was a forehead?
Because there's like some ziggly lines on it.
Would have been in the. If I had you draw a picture, could you draw like that pit area and kind of draw in what you saw and where you saw it? Okay. How about if I do that now? I'll give you a pen.
garage.
behind Steven's garage?
Yeah.
Put an H where his house would be and a G where his garage would be. So what you drew here, can you just explain what you drew here?
And
Where were you standing when you saw her? Put an X there.
like right here.
And could you put your initials so I know that's you? And maybe another X where he was standing?
Like right there.
Okay.
And then you guys put more stuff on the fire?
Yeah, when it went down.
And what did you? Okay, and how was it that you were able to see her? Were things moved around, or was it just because the fire went down?
Well, he moved it around so I could see it
How did he move it around?
with a shovel.
So explain to me what you mean he moved it around. Tell me what you mean.
He like shifted it around, like trying to smooth it out. Like that.
And when he did that, what did you see?
Her fingers and her head, her forehead.
What happened next?
We went over. He went into the garage. I went to his house and got the garbage bags. Before we started.
Did you guys talk about what you saw in there?
Yeah,
Okay, tell me about that.
I seen it. He said he seen me see it, so he told me not to say something, or else he threatened me a little bit.
What did he threaten you? What did he say?
That he would.
What else did he tell you about what you saw?
That I shouldn't say nothing.
Did he tell you what it was?
That it was her body.
Did he tell you whose body?
Teresa Hallbox.
What did he tell you? How did it get there?
That he put it there with like he drove it there. Like his sled or something.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Did you say that one time? With his sled?
His small wheel sled.
Is that what he told you?
Yeah.
Did he tell you anything about what happened to her prior to that?
That he tied her up in her Jeep and stabbed her in the stomach.
And then what did he do?
Then he put the knife under the seat and tried to hide the Jeep
And did he tell you where?
behind in the woods area,
In the woods area where?
down in the pit by the lake or the pond. Branches over in a car hood.
You mentioned a sled. Is that a sled that you pull behind something?
Yeah.
Did Do you know what he pulled the sled with when he took it over there, or did he just pull it himself?
I think he pulled it by himself.
Did you ever see that sled? Does he have a sled?
Yeah.
Where is that sled?
Probably in the garage.
What's it look like?
Black.
What's it? I'm sorry. What's it made out of?
Plastic or rubber or whatever. Like a fishing thing.
Did he tell you why he did this to Teresa?
Because he was.
Did he tell you why he was angry?
No.
Did he throw anything else on the fire?
Some garbage.
Yeah, anything else?
Some clothes that had blood stain and a cut in it.
Describe the whole for us.
The shirt was blue and the pants were.
They look like what gender clothing would they have been?
Girl clothes.
Did he say whose clothes they were,
Yeah.
and whose were they?
Teresa Hallbox.
And you said something about blood on what article of clothing was the blood on.
The shirt.
And you said there was a hole in the shirt. Well, where was that?
In the stomach.
Could you just point?
Did he say anything about that hole?
No.
Okay.
Did he tell you what he did this?
No.
How has this affected you?
Yeah, I've been sad for the last 3-4 months.
What have you been sad about?
I thought that he didn't do it and felt sorry for Teresa's family.
Did you have anything to do? Stab her?
No.
Did you help put the body in the fire?
No.
Did anybody else?
Not that I know of.
Have you told anyone else about this?
No.
Have you told your mother?
No.
Is your mother here today?
Yeah.
Anything else about Teresa?
Yeah, that she was pretty.
What else did he say about her, if anything? Do you know what sexual assault means?
No.
Did he say anything about wanting to?
No.
So just so I'm clear on this, where did he say that he stabbed her?
In the stomach.
And that occurred where? Outside, inside, in the truck, where?
In the.
Back at you. Do you notice that cuts
Yeah.
in? Do you notice that the long periods of cuts in between his answers?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very. I feel it's. They say it's not deliberate, but I feel like it was deliberate, and I feel like that's why this wasn't used against him in court, or
Yeah.
that they were able to do anything because.
I think that it was edited big time too.
It probably was. I mean, this was a case fought. I mean, this was FOIA'd, from the source. So
Right.
this is what they gave
Right.
us. So,
Right.
and
Well, it's cool that you got it like that because I mean they do think they are beyond the law.
yeah, well,
They
and
do.
it's very convenient when they ask him, like, did you do it? And then there's then the
Right.
sound goes out, you know. So like, but
Right, the sound
I
is
feel
out.
I feel like this was they looked back at this and thought shit, you know.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
part of the reason why this wasn't used against him in court
Yeah. Okay.
because it
I
wasn't really
see.
reliable. So
Yeah, I didn't want to forget to mention that to you.
yeah, no, and
Are
I
you still
figured
here, Ginger? She's quiet. She might be picking up her son. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. I mean, I figured you guys would pick up that, you know, there's pauses, like
Yeah.
ridiculous amount of pauses, and it's really
Mhm.
aggravating too because it,
And the
you
whole
know,
sound goes out.
yeah, when
I
they
mean,
like, especially when he asks him like, do you know what sexual assault is? And then Brendan's like, yeah, and then I think he asks him like, did Steven sexually assault her? And then it goes out.
yeah.
But like I
Yeah.
said, they didn't use any of this
Right.
in court. I
Right.
think because they knew that it wouldn't, you know, it's not reliable.
Right.
Is it
Okay.
cutting out, or are they like doing something like
They're
editing it?
they're it's like they're
Right.
cutting it off. It's like they're deliberately cutting it off because manipulating it is what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what was said, you know, in the yeah,
Right.
in the lapses. Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you, yeah, it's like the
I
strangest
think
question.
it's part. Let me see. Actually, I want to say I don't even know if we have like a transcript of it.
Oh, can I get the transcript?
Yeah, like I always say, everything that I'm showing you guys is on
Mhm.
BrendanDassey.com.
Right. So, but they do like a oh, never mind. I'm in StreamYard, so I keep forgetting where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, the transcript is so much better to follow everything. But they were
Right.
reading. You know, it today at Foul Play. Brandon's part and all of it, and it's word for word, and I just got it chill bumps all over me. You know,
Right.
because it's so you can tell it's just not. It's just not the truth.
Yeah. Let me see actually if this is because the one transcript. I don't think so.
What?
Oh, I'm looking at the transcript from the school, and I was wondering if maybe that was combined with this one, like they combined the two. But
Okay.
I'm not seeing that. I think this was still at the school. So yeah, I'm not sure if we actually have a transcript of
Oh,
this
cool.
particular interview, but
Yeah.
yeah. And now I was hoping that the sub captions aren't available on this either. So
Right.
sometimes YouTube can automatically like, you know, decipher what's being said and then makes
Yeah.
captions, but yeah, not today.
Okay.
So unfortunately, but yeah, but if anything, it just shows like the poor quality, you know, of these interviews and
Right.
how hard it is to interpret what's being said and all that, and like, you know, trying to use that in court, like you can't.
And it's so funny, like back then, even back then, um, how easily it was to manipulate things for them.
Oh yeah, I just want to say Brendan was the first case back. There was another case before Brendan, almost identical, where a 16, 17-year-old kid in Wisconsin was interrogated and was falsely convicted, and then it went to court, and then they finally released him because of insufficient evidence and blah blah blah. and they interrogated the kid the same way they're interrogating Brendan, but they didn't record the kid or anything. Like it wasn't recorded, so they can argue that you don't know what happened during these interviews. So Brendan is actually, despite the fact that these are really shitty, poor quality interrogations that we're saying. Sorry, someone's. My friend wants to talk about TikTok real quick. But anyway, Brendan's actually the first kid in Wisconsin to have his interrogation recorded because of that. So if it actually wasn't because of this other kid, and it's in this book, and I'm trying to skim through it to see if I can find it, but if it wasn't for that, Brendan probably would not have the defense that he has, because we can see how they're talking to him. We can see how they're leading him on and all that stuff. Even though these are poor, shitty quality interviews and interrogations, we can see it. And thank God, because if it wasn't for that, we'd be in a much worse position. Where is it?
I was just saying, if this was a courtroom, for God's sake, they would cut them off so many times.
Oh, I know. This too bad that the March 1st interview wasn't choppy like this one too, because they probably wouldn't have been able to convict Brendan because that's all they have on him. It's just these interrogations.
Well, and then each time they get to feed him more information and more shit that they want to hear back,
Yeah.
So each time it gives them more time to work on him.
Yep.
And break him down.
And know what to come back with and ask him again. And then finally, by the time March 1st comes along, Brendan's pretty well practiced, especially in these interrogations. So it's almost like even bringing him into this room kind of softens it for later. So that way he doesn't freak out as much on March 1st. He's not as, oh, well, it's just going to be like last time I was sitting here. Nothing bad happened to me. I said the same stuff and, so anyway, it's almost done, I guess, or almost halfway there.
What color the pants were?
No.
Do you remember what color the shirt was?
Blue.
What was it, a t-shirt or a button-up shirt, or what type of shirt?
Like the button-up shirt.
What about shoes? Did you see any shoes at all?
No.
Did you see any camera or cell phone anywhere?
No.
When you saw her in the fire, did she have shoes on?
No.
So you saw what?
Her toes and her feet.
Was there still skin on her toes and feet?
Yeah.
What color was it?
Like peach to white. And a little bit of white.
So just so I'm clear on this, he told you who it was?
Yeah.
And he told you it was who?
Teresa Hobart.
How long were you by the fire?
Oh, 2 hours.
Hold on. He would not. Okay. Anybody who witnessed something like this would not be calm like this.
Oh, you mean you would just sit there calm if you saw a human body burning?
Yeah,
Right.
just like, you wouldn't. You would, especially 16-year-olds, they'd be freaking
Right.
out, crying. There'd be some hysterics in there. There would
Oh
be
yeah.
like a lot of
Yeah.
breaking down,
Well,
especially someone like this.
Did you know Brendan actually has like a confirmed case of fear of blood?
Oh
Like,
wow.
Oh wow.
if
Yep.
he sees like a drop of blood, he'll actually like throw up and pass out.
Oh yeah. My sister was like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's an actual like confirmed because like he was with
It's a
like
metal.
yeah, it's
It
an
is a
actual medical thing. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. I can't remember what they call it, but my sister had it, and it was blood. Any blood. It was any bodily fluid. Like like when I say that, I mean things that come out of the body, blood. She couldn't change a diaper. She'd
yeah.
pass out. You
Well,
know.
and I don't know how with other bodily fluids with Brendan. I just know when he was in middle school, he was on like and this is all like documented in school records and doctors and all this stuff. Like he was at a school field trip at a hospital, and a nurse was drawing patient's blood and a little bit of blood. He saw a little bit of blood on somebody's arm after, and he legit like passed out and knocked his head on the ground, and it was like a big event.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he can't even stand the sight of blood,
If he can't stand the sight of blood, he's not going to be able to sit there and go, "Oh yeah, her toes were pink," and yeah.
Right. And that also, just picture this. I mean, he's saying, I saw her toes, I saw her forehead, just her forehead.
Hmm.
Not the hairline, not the eyes, not the eyebrows, just the forehead. Saw her toes, her forehead, random different body parts. But then they're like, was it all chopped up? No. Well, did you see a whole body? Well, I saw her toes. Well, how do you not see her whole leg attached to her toes? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing is, if the fire had been going, wouldn't it be charred a little? You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
skin would be blistered up. He,
Blistered, bleeding, popping.
yeah, yeah, there would be. He wouldn't even be able to get close enough. The smell would just, yeah. But go on.
Yeah. No, no. I mean, it's pretty horrific, a body burning, much less, a little drop of blood. So, yeah, you're right. Like, he would not be okay. And I also want to emphasize this. He doesn't talk about actually I don't know if we can say the word graping. I know that we're not allowed to say certain words, but anyway, he doesn't actually say it in this interview. But this kid is like a virgin. Never even kissed a girl before, and they expect you to believe that this kid raped a woman tied to a bed.
Right.
You
You
wouldn't
know,
be
Right.
able to,
in front of his uncle. In front of his
no,
uncle. Yeah.
no,
Right.
Would he even be able
there,
to hold it up? I don't even know. I'm just
no,
saying.
there would be some performance issues. That's for
Right.
sure.
He
Right.
has never kissed a woman before. Let's just put it that way.
Aw,
Or a guy. I should
that's,
say or a guy too. These days it's both. You know what I
that's
mean?
sad.
But like
I
anyway.
mean, that just hurts my heart.
Yeah, well it's the truth. He went away when he was a child,
Right.
and
Right. Right.
but yeah. He but yeah, that's the other like I mean this is literally a innocent kid in every sense of the word. And
Right.
they're trying to like all these like
Right.
horrific things. It's like he can't even stand the sight of blood. He hasn't even kissed a girl yet. And you're trying to say he's capable of this horrific
Right.
crime.
Right. That's so sad.
Yeah.
And these horrible people um that found enough evil in their heart to throw a little kid's life away into the gutter like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
They're gonna
And
pay. They're gonna
collateral,
pay somehow.
he's collateral damage to get their main target. That's what
Right.
he was.
Yep.
But I hope someday they pay for it. I
I
hope they
hope so
do.
too. I hope his day and I have to believe that his day is coming.
I hope so.
Me too.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes. My heart goes out to them, Mr. Doves. I just don't know where we would be if it was just ongoing.
I know. If it wasn't for making a murder, I honestly don't know what would happen.
Oh, telling you, it's sad. It's sad that they let the justice system get away from them like this.
Yeah. Because if it wasn't for me, even if it wasn't for making a murderer, he wouldn't have friends. Even he was literally he was just himself, and him, and his mom would visit him, but he didn't have pen pals, he didn't have friends outside of prison. It was just and because of making a murderer, now he has pen pals everywhere, and
Moral support.
moral support. Yeah. And his name's out there, his story's out there, and at least his story is also helping other kids, avoid the same thing.
Right. Oh, I hope that he feels some sense of that he is doing good, even though
I think he kind of because like we tell him, me and other people tell him all the time, like, you're changing the world, like, but I don't know if he can fully grasp that yet until he gets out of prison and actually sees it for himself. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to be told that, but it's another thing to see it.
Right. Yeah.
So, I hope that happens real soon for him.
And I'm sure there's a sadness. He probably wonders, well, if I don't ever get to see it, what good,
Yeah. He has like a remarkable amount of positivity to him. He's like one of the most positive people I know.
I was really surprised about that myself.
Like he's honestly an inspiration to me. Like I feel like if knowing him, like, I don't know. I feel like he makes me a better person. So, like even with all this, like just in like a scope of like in our world here on YouTube, like sometimes I'm like, what would Brendan think if I was sitting in this chat, or what would Brendan think if I was, you know what I mean? Like, like I don't know. Like I feel like he's just overall this like awesome, like, good person.
It's just like the farthest person in the world that would deserve something like this happen to them.
Yeah.
In their lifetime.
He's one of like the nicest, sweetest people. If you guys ever decide to write him a letter, which I think anybody, everybody and anybody should. He's just one of the nicest people, sweetest people. So
yes, we encourage you all to write him, and
but
I'm going to one of these days.
I had to beg Linda because she I really did. I had to beg Linda, and she did, and then she got a letter back, and that she was just like so happy for that, and and they were really good friends up until the end. So
that's wonderful. She was such a wonderful person, I swear.
Yeah, but she was like, one of these days I'll write him a letter, Becca, and because she wasn't the letter writer either. It was really hard for her to sit down, and a lot of people have a hard time too, because he's sitting in prison, like, and you don't want to talk about all these wonderful things that are happening outside of prison for you if he's sitting in, but he enjoys reading about other people's lives and experiences, and it helps him escape from where he's at, know. So I tell people all the time, no, brag about your life, talk about your trips and your movies and your books and all your experiences, because that's how he escapes.
I just am so tied up in it emotionally. I just want to wait until I'm more, because I don't want to, make things worse by being, emotionally tied up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because it is hard. It's hard to.
No, it is hard.
It's just hard, and especially when what they're feeling inside and what their anxieties are, and
well, and like you're looking at it from a mother's perspective of her son, who was
Yeah.
also in the same situation. So I can imagine your feeling. It
Yeah.
probably brings back a lot of stuff for you.
It
Yeah,
does.
trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, I've never had a kid. I'm looking at it from a sense of he's the same age as me. So you know what I mean? It's like,
Right. Right.
it's a little bit different for me.
Right.
I couldn't imagine it. My son's 25, going to be 26,
Yeah.
and
Right.
he's autistic, and you know, I couldn't imagine this because I know he wouldn't know what to do. You know,
Yeah.
Right. We
Right.
they
um,
don't. Mine
he
was
would.
sheltered. No, he didn't
Well,
have
I
a
mean,
clue.
I could tell him a million times, and it would still not sink in. Because you know, there's certain things that won't sink in
Right.
because my son's one of those. He wants to see the best in everybody,
Right.
Right.
and
That's how
um,
Brendan is. Yeah.
and he takes how do I how do I put this? He jokes around a lot, pessimistically sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's a joke. He's
Right.
Right.
joking. Whereas he doesn't. He's had people take advantage of him, like
Right.
financially or
Right.
whatever, manipulate him,
Right.
and it's like if you try to point it out to him, he gets upset. You know,
Right.
so it's like it's kind of hard for me to sit back and watch him have to learn. You know,
Right.
but
That is hard.
he has to figure it out on his own, and he eventually does. But if I say something, it's like, "Mom, you're being too overprotective." I'm like, "Well,
Well,
what do you?"
my
It's
goodness.
hard.
Yes.
That's the one
It's,
thing. Like I said, I don't have kids, so I mean, I can relate through nieces and nephews, and just from
yeah.
being a human. But
But when
you
they
know,
get put in, when your child gets taken from you and put in that system, and there is nothing you can do to help them to make things better, to ease their pain, to keep them from being afraid. Are
right,
they told, or there is no, I mean, there's nothing you can do. You're helpless, and you've always fixed all the problems all along, and then you're helpless,
right,
and there's nothing that you can do because you're doing all that you can do, and it doesn't matter,
yeah,
you know. Uh, when they just, I don't know, it's more or less when they have an agenda to benefit themselves is when that's the only time they take action, and then it's, I just think it's just ridiculous.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I just never dreamed things like this used to. I just never would have dreamed it. This stuff went on. Like I said, I would have called you a liar. No joke. Just, and it makes me sick that it turned out to be like it is,
yeah,
But okay. So you want to listen to a little bit more,
yeah. It's up to you
or you,
guys, because I know it's hard to understand and all that.
you
So,
want to listen up to 11 o'clock, and then we'll cut it off there, and then we'll just pick up next time where we left off.
so what? Another 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why didn't you tell anybody?
I was scared too.
What were you scared about?
Because they would think that I helped them.
Is there anything else that you can think of?
Did he tell you how he got the truck back into the pit?
He drove it
Which way did he drive it?
past Chucky's house.
Say when he did that?
Like the day on October 31st.
You told me before that he told you that he stabbed her in the stomach.
Yeah.
Where did he do that? In the house, in the garage,
In the Jeep.
the Jeep? And where was the Jeep? Do you know how he got her from the pit up to the fire pit?
Why that's why.
Did he say which way he brought her up? And you told me before that he tie her up.
Rope.
Anything else?
No.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Is there anything we forgot to ask?
Not that I know.
Was this hard for you to do?
Yeah.
I can imagine. And there's no doubt in your mind what you saw in that fire. Pardon?
Yeah.
You know that that was. When Stephen was up north with you that week, or at the end of that week, that next weekend, and the police came up there, what did he say?
He said to drive as far as he can to get away.
To get away from,
The cops.
okay. Has he said anything else to you since that night?
No.
When we wanted to talk to you and stuff, did he say anything to you about what you should say? Has he threatened you since that night, or told you don't say anything or anything like that since that night?
No.
Do you know whose knife it was?
No.
Do you know where the knife is now?
That knife, by the way, they've never found to this day. Supposedly, there was a knife used to slash her throat and stab her in the stomach and all these horrific things. They have never found that knife.
Wow. And that was in the bedroom that they didn't even find any dust moved.
Right. Well, and then Brendan also said in one of these interviews that they put the knife underneath a seat of somebody's car, either Teresa's or whatever. There was never a knife. They've never found a knife.
Yeah.
There is never a murder weapon that they found. Because I don't even think that the 22 that they found was considered the murder weapon, quote unquote. So, yeah, no murder weapon, no crime scene. Just unbelievable.
I just can't believe it.
Would it be okay? Okay. I think we're gonna do that, okay?
Thank you, Brendan.
Just hang in there, right?
Now, what did he just say to him? Because it was muted.
Would it be okay? Okay. I think we're gonna do that, okay?
Thank you, Brendan.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And they might be going to go talk because mom's outside, apparently.
Huh.
This poor kid, I'm telling you.
Um,
It might be the right place to cut off then, if,
Yeah,
you know, they're
okay.
you
at
guys want to?
Okay.
since
Anybody
they
have any
left
questions?
I'll remember 2450.
Okay. Let's see.
But yeah, like I said, everything that I'm showing you guys is on brendandassey.com. So
I've
if you
been
guys
going
want
over
to,
there and reading some things.
yeah, yeah,
What
it's
was
it,
you?
huh?
Sorry, Ginger was going to say something. I don't know what she's going to say.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
no, go ahead. No, I wasn't. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Becky.
No, it's okay. I don't remember nothing. Other
Okay,
than
yeah, none of us are going, so we'll
other
do
than
the
like
what
I
is
said,
it, rock, paper, scissors.
I'm sorry.
I said we'll do rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, everything that I'm showing you guys is on brendandassey.com. You can also go to fileplay.site. So if you guys want to listen to it on your own time with better earphones like I have. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's your homework, people.
Right.
right. At
Yeah.
Foul Play, right before we come on, Foul Play comes on and they're reading documents and stuff too.
Yeah, they are. They're
And
going
then
over.
we come over here, so
Yeah, and I think right now they're actually specifically talking about Brendan stuff. So
they are.
yeah.
And yeah,
And
it's
Dr.
sure
Silkman is like awesome with it. Like he really knows his stuff. So
it sure does. Yeah. I really do enjoy it.
yeah, I always tell people to go check them out if they have,
Yeah.
time. So
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Becky Chu, for bringing us all the great videos.
yeah, thank you for always having me.
And thank you,
Right?
Ginger. Very
even
much
though I
so.
even though I was quiet most of the time, but hey,
Hey,
Hey, it's always fun.
I know. At least we're still laughing,
Yeah,
guys.
despite everything.
Yeah, you said it. You said it because you always think that it couldn't get worse, but it can.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yep.
just think about that. And
Yep. Well, that's what I mean. He's a really, just when you think
right,
like, oh,
right.
like
Because
this is
I just thought
difficult or
that
this is hard.
our family had it worse, but then I look at Brandon's family.
Yeah.
I look at Stephen spent most of his life in there, and Brandon's most of his. I mean, he's gonna more than
Yeah.
Stephen after it's over.
My biggest
But
fear is that Brendan's gonna lose both his parents while he's still in prison.
I
Like they'll
know,
both die like Steven's mom did.
right? See, my son lost his dad while he was in prison. It's
Yeah.
not easy. It's not easy.
No, it's
It
not.
really it affects them after they get out too, because they go through the mourning process all over again.
Yep. Yeah, because you can't really do that in there.
But you can't.
oh yeah, yeah. My nephew was in prison when my sister passed, and
Yeah.
he still talks about it because it's so fresh. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they will never stop beating themselves up over either.
Right.
That is just um something that they can't fix, but they wish that they could go back and redo it.
But
They wish they could fix it.
that is one of my fears for Brendan in this, is because both his parents, his mom's a smoker, and
Right.
she works a lot, in a factory. His dad's got a lot of health issues, and I really worry that
Yeah.
history is going to repeat itself, as far as with because Steven lost his mom. His dad's like pushing 80 something.
We can only hope and pray that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Well,
That's all we
thanks for
can
having
do.
me. I'm gonna hop down and get in the house.
Well, thank you, Ginger.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
I'll
I
see
love
you guys.
you. I love you, Pikachu. Thank you.
Love you guys too. I'll see you guys next time.
Thank
Love y'all.
you. Bye. Thanks, guys, for being here. We love y'all very much. And I guess until next Saturday, we'll see ya. Bye.